Alright, can everyone hear the music? Alright, we're working on this dice bag right here. Finishing up this edge where I've got this elf weave. Just kind of hanging out and finishing up some dice bags and starting off the new year with the stream. How's everybody's new year? Y'all ready to go back to work? Myers Bazaar, thank you for the follow. I'm close to 2,000 followers. I need to get to 10,000 so that I can get to use TikTok Studio, so that I don't have to have this multi-camera setup that I've got going on, where all my camera equipment for regular streaming is in front of me, and TikTok only gets the phone, right? Hi, Nita, how you doing? All right. So, I was working on this earlier today, and I had a much larger elf weave border. This is the remnants of it. And it wasn't working, so I had to take that off, and now we're putting this on. But just a silly little dice bag. And the only benefit, DW Fields, thank you for the follow. Wally has liked the stream, thank you. The only benefit to making this dice bag is that I will have used up these rings and made something productive. It was a coif, a headpiece, and CSir1234, CC1234, thank you for the follow. Off to a great start. Anyway, it had started life out as a piece of head armor called a coif. I've heard some people call it a coif. I'm not an expert at how to pronounce medieval words, but I've always called it a coif. It's C-O-I-F. What other platform am I on? YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And there I've got my face, an album going, a place to see comments if anyone sees it, or if anyone posts anything, and then an overhead view of what I'm working on. So, as opposed to just this, right? Where my work is covered up by comments. And I'd change camera positions, but the tripod that I have for my camera just barely fits on top of my desk. So I'm going to need a different tripod before I can do that. So hopefully that's one of many things, many pieces of equipment that we will be... I have not finished the saddlebag covers. In my arrogance, I thought I could have them finished and wrapped up prior to the end of Christmas break, and I probably could have, but we had a lot of family stuff and a lot of just chilling out over the weekend, or over the last 2 weeks, spending time with each other and stuff. So I've got the second one, all the pieces of it to put together right here, and then I will start, and I gotta get up to Tandy leather because I need some more of this black leather cord to lace it all together. So, but I've got until spring for that, really, to finish it. So, no rush as of yet. How are you, Mother of Dragons? For those of you following along, you should follow Nita Austin and Mother of Dragons. They're both chainmail artists who are brilliant in their own respect. They do good work. I was watching Nita make some really cool dice bags the other night, and Mother of Dragons makes chainmail dragons, which are awesome. So you should follow them and buy their stuff. You're doing well? That's good. Did you make it through? Did everybody make it through all the holiday season? Did we survive it? How many people are ready to go back to work? Or ready for the kids to go back to school? Tanya, thank you for the follow. Like, I love my child and he's wonderful, but I'm ready for him to be back in class. So I made a bunch of this already, and I have like multiple pieces of this dice bag that have been taken apart and reassembled. And then I have some more over here for another dice bag that I was going to do. So I am kind of cannibalizing pieces as I go along. You so ready for your kiddos to go back to school? Yup. I mean, my son hasn't been a problem. He has been in his little hidey hole playing video games the whole time, so we did try and go see Godzilla -1, which was really good, but we got halfway through, and then my son is just too little for the movie. He became very upset when Godzilla went in and destroyed the city. And so we left about halfway through, so I didn't get to watch the rest of it. It's very much a Japanese Godzilla movie. The movie's in Japanese. It's all subtitles, which I didn't realize. I thought it was. I guess there's another Godzilla vs. Kong movie coming out. So I thought it was that. So my fault for failing as a parent and not checking beforehand. But for anyone who is looking for a movie to watch, I thought it was good. I've always enjoyed movies like Chinese surrealism, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. What's another really good one? Movies like, I want to say, Ip Man. It's a martial arts movie, but any movie with Jet Li based in, Japanese culture. Right? They're not realistic, right? But they're fun. And Godzilla's kind of like that. So, I thought it was well done. I wanted to finish it, but other than that, kiddo got scared and we had to leave, and it's going to be a while before I take him to see another movie that isn't a straight up kids movie, right? Because I took him to see Thor: Love and Thunder and he got scared at that too, so I think that was actually the last movie we went to. So the last 2 times we've been to the theater, he got upset, and it is what it is. I never did end up seeing Thor: Love and Thunder. Heard it wasn't too great, but and before you ask what you get scared of at a Marvel movie, I guess the bad guy was scary to him, so I don't know. I didn't think it was all that to be worried about, but other than that, we just spent time with family. And Gary, thank you for the follow. Chilled out, played with our Christmas toys. I think I mentioned this earlier, but it's been a few days since I've posted anything. And I got a Orbeez blaster, right? It's a little electric handgun that shoots Orbeez, and you can shoot them at each other, and those are fun. The fight scenes can be pretty intense, yes, especially for little ones. Alright, I don't need too many more, but I don't... See if we can just make this work. Alright, there's a lot of movies that I'm excited to get into with him. A lot of just really bad 1980s action movies. He's seen Rocky. He enjoyed that. I've never shown him, you know, Predator or anything. He's too little. But he's getting close to the age where my dad sat us down and watched a bunch of action flicks from the 80s with us. That was always a big thing in our family, was movies. So we go and we'd rent, you know, 2 or 3 movies, and then we'd all sit down and eat ice cream and popcorn and watch them all. We just finished the Mission Impossible movies. I've only seen a few of those. I already watched Starship Troopers with your 12-year-old. You saw it in theater with your old man. Good times. Starship Troopers. It's like, it was supposed to be a warning. Like, the book is a warning about getting into space fights with bugs and other planets. And, like, government control or something. And then it opposes... like the military-industrial complex, and then the movie's like the greatest recruitment tool for the military ever. But yeah, no, I've never seen. I haven't seen any of the new Mission Impossibles. I remember the first one from a long time ago, and that's, you know what else I haven't seen? I haven't seen the new Top Gun. I wanted to see that. I did not get the opportunity to. Because I don't watch a lot of television or movies unless I'm going with my kids, so. I'm Weirdcore, how you doing? Weirdcore, thank you for the follow. Top Gun was excellent. That's what I hear. I want to see it. I have a hard time. I'm okay with scrolling on my phone for, you know, several hours and not getting anything done. But if I sit down on a couch, I'm like, what am I doing with my life? I'm just wasting away, you know? I've got this urge to do something. Think your battery is dying in the Jeep. Finished one problem and now another is showing up. Jeep and Jammer, how you doing? I'm sorry to hear that, man. I am doing okay. Thank you for asking. It's like I'm going to force myself to sit down and rewatch The Lord of the Rings. And you say, but Sean, why would you watch a movie you've seen 1,000 times? Instead of watching a new movie that you haven't seen. And the reason is, I've never watched all of the extended editions all the way through. And I want to do that. So I gotta, I don't know, purchase them on Vudu or whatever. But usually, once a year, sit down, watch all the Lord of the Rings, watch all the Hobbits, and go from there. But Cooking late dinner, was helping the father-in-law with organizing the garage. Is this where you moved to? Or is it your father-in-law's garage? Where are you currently staying? How is your housing situation? So yeah, sit down, watch the extended edition of Lord of the Rings, and then I will try and find time to watch other movies. I have space for a TV down here, and I want to, it's over that way. Put a TV on, get my DVD player, hook it up, and have movies just off, not in front of me, right? I suppose I could watch them on my computer, but maybe I should do that. Maybe I should watch them on my computer. But also, I would like a TV over there going with movies where they're just in the background, you know? All right. That way I can just let the movie play 3 or 4 times over and pick up the movie as I go along. I don't want to sit down and watch the whole thing, you know? Don't ask me why. I can't just sit down and not work on stuff. You're staying at your wife's parents' house. You're helping out here as much as you can. Okay, well that's good of you as a guest. It's always fun when making chainmail and I grab my beard with the pliers. Took the Christmas lights down and changed an exhaust fan in the bathroom. Yeah. I didn't put any Christmas lights up this year. I am not interested in Christmas decorations as far as what we have right now. There are lights that you can string up underneath the eaves of your house, and they change color, they come with themes, and I want to get one of those packages and have someone else come and install them. I'm not, gonna climb up 20 feet on a ladder to put this light system in place, but pretty eventful day, and oh, there was a bee in your room because the window was cracked open. That's that's fun. Little excitement you didn't want. So I'm not gonna hang traditional Christmas lights. I've got a 20-foot ladder, and I've climbed up it. And in an emergency, I will get up there and get on the roof if I need to take a look at something. But I am of the physical capability to where, if I fall, that's going to be a permanent issue. My neighbor said everybody should fall off a roof once, and he's in his 70s, and I don't agree with him. I'm like, no thank you. My other neighbor, he had a knee replacement. He's in the hospital with sepsis. So, all right. I think these ends need to come together. This is always a fun part because connecting the ends is a pain in the butt. Especially when it's wrapped around. Excuse me. That ring doesn't go there. Well, it does go there, but no, it doesn't. Okay, never mind. All right, gotta focus for a second here. That's above, that's below. So one ring there, and then, is that right? I think that's right. Okay, hang on. That's what I'm gonna do. So I hope this works. That looks right. Now, can I do this one without screwing it up? Okay. Flip it over. I think I did it. Come on. Maybe if I come from this angle. Upside down and backwards, flip it around, and then do it the same way on the other side. Alright. Is that it? Did I do it? I think I did. Rotten Pieces. How's it going, dude? Making a dice bag? I am making a dice bag. More importantly, I'm using up rings that I can't use for anything else or for their original intended project. So I am finishing up a dice bag. A lot of the excess rings I had on hand have been dice bags and cubes. And you know what? I'm just going to have to be okay with that. I didn't need this many dice bags or failed or semi-failed cube experiments. But I have them. It's okay. One of these dice bags is going to be gifted away to a friend of mine. So, sweet. Okay. So the edge of this dice bag before we go up into the closure has this nice elf weave. Just going through the middle of it. So, see if we can't finish this off. Heck yeah, dude. I mean, they look awesome, so yeah. My favorite one is the cube and cube, the brass and bronze cube and cube I did. I think that was a cool proof of concept. I'd like to try that again with some stainless rings. I think some regular stainless and some blackened stainless would look really good as a one cube passing through another cube. You got a jet, take care. We're going to make buffalo chicken wraps and watch Prisoner of Azkaban. Jeeb and Jamber, you have a good one. I hope you get your battery figured out and get that taken care of and everything else goes well for you, man. Happy New Year. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. So now I'm going to, I've got 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles here. And we're going to add these to this as the closures and see what happens. So, but like I mentioned before, I might have to cannibalize a little bit more of this than what I wanted, but I think you can check and see if your warranty on the battery is good at AutoZone. There you go. I started this out with five segments, right? Normally, I've made dice bags with 6, right? But there's only 5 in here. So I'm hoping that I'll get away with using all these pieces to make another 5-segmented dice bag. It won't have the elf weave trim that this does, but I'll just make a dice bag out of these, cannibalize one of the 6 pieces I made for it, and then cross your fingers and that'll be enough rings for both dice bags. Saint Sinner 616 low. Saint Sinner 6 low. Follow. Thank you for the follow. All right. And if we don't have enough rings, I have some that are the new size that I ordered. Because this was all a coif, and I ordered rings to make it not a coif, or to finish the coif. And then the ring sizes were too different. I couldn't use them together in a piece that large. So, but I might get away with using a couple on here. I don't think anybody will notice. We'll just be sneaky about it. But I think I'll have enough rings. And then I'll have 2 dice bags. And a gift. My friend, his birthday is right around Christmas, and he's a big D&D fan. And so his birthday's always jacked up because it's like, oh, here's your birthday / Christmas present, you know? And it's been that way his whole life. So now I'm just going to give him one of these because I don't need this many dice bags. Joe Nadeau, thank you for the share. And that way he will have a birthday gift that is not related to Christmas and something that most people don't have, chainmail dice bags. They should. Yeah, where'd that go? They totally should, but, you know. Alright. I would like to get through... What time is it? It's 8:48. Okay. I would like to get through closing up this dice bag and getting started on the next one tonight. That's my goal. I usually only stream until about 10. I've got school tomorrow, so I can't stay up too late. So we'll see what we can get done in the next hour and 15 or so. And if anybody wants to hang out for that whole time, I would love it. And I appreciate everyone who's chilling now. Happy New Year, everyone. I think we're getting off on the right foot. A couple of finished projects right as the New Year starts. I think that's a good start. Alright. So my brother woke up to news that there was an earthquake in Japan, because he lives out that way. It was fun getting that message this morning. Like it sucks when you have family members that aren't even on the same continent as you, and you know that there's just like nothing you could do for them ever if there was an emergency. But he's okay. Him and his family are fine. At least I think that's what the message I said that I read through blurry eyes first thing this morning. I should probably double check. I'm wondering how many rings around this is. I should count them. That'll give me some sense of whether or not I can just slap these 5 triangles on here and call it a day. Which is what I really want to do. Alright. Oh, I can start counting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. 46. Okay. That's a not easily divisible number into common. So what are we talking about? We need 5 triangles. What's that's 9. 46 divided by 5 is 9. We have 5 segments. I want 5 triangles on top. So each triangle has to have a base of 9. But they're not even going to be. Where's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this is ridiculous. Okay. 7, 8, 9. How many more rings is that? 6. That's 7, 8, 9 rings. So it's going to be. No, it's not. If we had 2 rows to each one and use this as 9 and then kind of sneak 1 ring in there because it's 46 and not 45, we'll sneak 1 ring in and then I think that's the way to go. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope that made sense. That was just kind of some insane rambling with math as I tried to thought process this out in my head. But basically, there's a row of rings on there right now. I don't want to add any more height to the bag. I could, but I'm limited on the amount of rings I have left. So I want to get this closed up with as few rings as possible moving forward. So I'm going to add a row onto each of these triangles, and then the row of 8 will connect the triangle to the bag, and then the row of 9 will be that first. Hang on, let me close this ring correctly. This first row on top of this edge of elf weave that I've started, right? So I've got the row of elf weave here, and then this first row of rings. That'll be my base of 9 rings. I think that makes sense. And if we can line it up with the segments on the bottom, that would be ideal. Alright, so 7. We can start connecting this. One thing I wanted to make sure of, right, is that all these triangles face the same way. And those 4 do. Does that one? Yeah. Okay. I need to lay this out. So see where the segments connect here. I wish I had more black and stainless to add to this, but I'm very limited on ring sizes for and number of rings for that material. I have a lot of 16 gauge 1/4 inch that I'm turning into the wrap for the saddlebags for my Road King. So those are all getting used up. I might have 10 16 gauge 5/16 rings and a dozen 18 gauge 3/16 rings left. I don't have anything I can do with them really at this point. Which is good. We want all the rings used up. In an ideal world, we will keep our junk jar of rings fairly light. Come on. And we will have a lot of finished projects and, you know, just cool random stuff that I've made. One thing, I don't know if I have the rings left for it, but it was just Christmas, and a lot of what I was seeing other people make were Christmas ornaments, and I was like, oh, I should try and make some of those. But I think that a lot of that is going to wait till the future, where I can order specific ring sizes or make specific ring sizes for those projects, because a lot of the rings are, a lot of the ornaments are size specific, and I don't want to be experimenting with what I have on hand, not knowing if it'll work or not. So, but one day I will have my whole setup here complete, and I can just make whatever ring size I want. That's my whole goal for the next year, is to be just like a one-stop chainmail shop where I can do pretty much anything I want. And that's not lining up, and I don't know why. Did I not? 5 segments, 46 rings around. That's like 2 rows off. Let's take a look and see what the matter is. Am I over too far here? Yeah, I mean, you could say so. By 1 ring? Okay. Lego. We'll just move one side of the triangle. Because we can. And once we have this placed, it shouldn't be too difficult to line up all of the rest that we're going to add here. I'm hoping. I keep telling myself that. It's going to be, you know, quick 10-20 minute job, and then it'll be done. 9 hours later. That actually did happen with this project. I tore a lot of it apart, put a lot of it together a couple times, and I'm finally getting to a point where I think it can be completed. So, and hopefully look good and be functional, right? I really don't need this top ring. I'm going to use, what have I got? I've got 16 gauge 5/16. That's probably a little too large. Let's take one of these. Is there one of these that I'm ripping apart already? No. There is now. We'll see how that works. We'll put a larger ring on top of all the others so I can weave a thread. I can thread a leather cord through there. All right, next. Whoa, that ring almost disappeared on me. All right, for anyone watching at home and looking in the overhead camera, that is where we're at right now, right? It's going to be the top of this little dice bag, and it's going to kind of just sit like a basket. And for anyone on TikTok, how to hold this up. We're adding these dags as these triangles on top of this elf weave as our closure to close the bag up. What am I doing? I'm not taking this piece apart. I've got 5 to do, well, 4 more to do. All right, and I think I can get 2 dice bags out of all the rings that I have here, and then hopefully I won't have to, I don't know, make any more dice bags for a while. So I've got the motorcycle. We've got that project going. So that'll keep me busy for a little bit. At some point, I'm going to break down this giant full Persian chain. This is like 9 feet of full Persian. I'm going to segment it off into rings and then weave the rings together in a big ringception project. And here's what I would like to do. I don't know if I'm going to have enough rings for this. But we made some round mail the other day. So I want to take this, and I don't think I can get away with using 4-in-1, European 4-in-1. I would have to use like European 6-in-1. Okay, so turn this into rings, weave it into European 6-in-1, and then weave that into a tube of round mail, which is just a chainmail chain weave, and then take the piece of the round mail and put it back in on itself and make one ring of round mail out of all of that. Razmataz, how you doing? So I think that that's what I want to do. I don't know. I have a lot of these rings for this full Persian chain to go through. We'll see if that works. That's a pretty bold plan, but I think it'd be cool. Especially if I can, like, by itself, just like this large piece of ringception round mail. And, you know, that would be cool by itself. But if I can make it into one big ring, that'd be dope. You're staring at your supply of ogre rings since your last chat, and you think they are sock cut? Right on. What have I done here? There. Okay. Yeah, you know, speaking of ogre rings, okay, Ogre Ring is a ring supplier, manufacturer. Never done business with them. I hear good things. The inside cut is flush. There's just a little skid mark from the blade on the top of the cut. Okay. Interesting. But speaking of chainmail ring manufacturers, there's one that's been repeatedly recommended to me that I should try. Little company in, I think they're in Austria. And for those of you who don't know, I have an app called the Mailworks app available on Google and Apple. And it has a bunch of resources listed there for people who are new, people who are old, people who just want to have a place to keep a bunch of resources for chainmail. And so I contacted, it's Tom's Ring Shop, I think it's in Austria, asking them if they wanted to be added to the list. And they said, they asked me, like, didn't we already do this? I was like, I don't think so. And I double checked the manufacturing list, or the list of ring manufacturers listed inside the Mailworks app, and they aren't on there. And so I feel bad if I spoke to them about it before and then just never added them, which sounds like something I would do. So I am terrible at that stuff. Yeah, Tom's Ring Shop in Austria. So anyway, I will be adding them. And then Ogre Rings, I need to contact them too, and Joe's Chainmail, and it's just a growing list of resources for people. So if you're interested in learning more about making chainmail, the Mailworks app is in the link tree in my bio, and you can get it on the Google and Apple app stores. Also, shameless plug, there is a link to my chainmail themed apparel and accessory store, mailworks.com, where you can find cool threads like hoodies like this, or hooded blankets, or regular blankets, or giant chainmail onesies. Yeah. I'm glad to hear about a ring shop in Austria, because we get a lot of people from that part of the world asking if there are suppliers over there. And who's over there? Wraith Mail in the UK and Tom's Ring Shop. And those are the only two off the top of my head that I can think of. There was another one in the UK, but I believe they closed down. And I don't know, I don't remember their name. Is it That Bee Lady? The Queen Ring is also in the UK. I should contact them too. Hey, do you want to be part of a list? Not a hit list. A shopping list. Or a vendor list, I guess. Speaking of shopping lists, I've got one tab full of, what do you call it? Different websites that I have to order stuff from. And it's not an insignificant chunk of change. So I'm going to go through and that bead lady is US or California. They carry hyperlinks. Okay. Then it was it was someone in the UK who has since shut down, and I don't remember who it is, and they're not there anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But what was I saying? Something. Oh yeah, not an insignificant amount of money on the all the carts on one of my Google tabs that I have open. So I think that I will be awaiting my tax return. So that I can... A lot of it's equipment, and a lot of it is a lot of it's just stuff that I need to finish a bunch of the projects laying around. So probably still cheaper than Michael Bedell's 50x50 Jelly Cube project. Oh yeah, no, that 750,000 ring Jelly Cube project he's got going on. I don't remember what he said it was going to cost him to get all the rings for it. Even just the, what does he have, like 50 layers done or something? That thing is ridiculously cool. I wish I was a cool person who did cool things like that. Maybe one day I will be. But that's going to, like, I asked him what he was going to do with it, and he's like, I hope to sell it for, you know, $1 million. Yeah, is it only 4 full layers? Yeah, it looks like he's got a bunch done. I mean, it's as big as this work mat right now, and it's like 2 inches thick, 1.5 inches thick. Ridiculous. And it's 50,000 rings that he has done. Something like that. It's already 17 pounds. Yeah. I was like, I asked him what he was going to do with it, and he said, you know, hopefully sell it for millions. I was like, I need millions, because that's just one of those things that I would like to own. But Sean, you could just make it yourself. I could, but I don't want to do that. I want to have a large jelly cube of my own that I'm working on, but I don't want to... I don't want to make a jelly cube that large. It is obscenely large, and it's going to be awesome. And then someone came out with this 170,000 ring dragon inlay that they did. So that thing's nuts. Here I am, I can't finish one inlay, and people are doing inlays with 170,000 rings in them. That project's crazy. I'm super impressed. Like I want to see more pictures of it. I've only seen one image of the whole thing. But there's like no close-ups or anything. You've had people ask you to make them your Jelly Infinity Cube before, but it's 15 hours worth of work. Yep. It's not... I don't know. I give stuff away because I have a lot. Oh, my leg is numb. Rotten Pieces says, is that weave round mail? Which weave? What I'm working on here is 4-in-1. It's got a strip of elf weave in there, and then more 4-in-1 to close it off. Then he says that bead lady is in Canada. And then I think he's just talking about one of these. Making 8 tiny jelly cubes gets boring for your ADHD fast. Yeah. I like this one. I'm going to continue to expand this one up to a decent size because I need something to replace my ridiculously large rubber band ball on my bar. So I want to have something there for people to look at. Aside from the rest of the giant chainmail collection I have right on the other side of the room. An infinity cube is 8 tiny cubes that you can flip and twist into a big cube. Oh, it's a fidget toy, and I know... Is it, Okay. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. I could be wrong. That's cool that you made one out of chainmail. Like it forms a cube, and then it folds out and makes a few different shapes. A couple of rectangles here. Is it one of those? Because I would like to make one of those, if that's possible. If what I'm thinking of is possible. Yeah, you posted it in the Facebook group last year. We'll have to go investigate. I don't think I've seen that. We're gonna run into a problem here. We might have to make this a little bigger. Okay. Yeah, you can DM it to me. Oh, I need to do these. Please do, because I think I know what you're talking about. I probably have seen it. I'm just not remembering it. But that's not really all that surprising, because I don't remember much. Thanks, Army. All right. Yeah. If what you're talking about is what I think it is, right? Then that's like pretty beyond my imagination. I can do some okay inlays if I work on them long enough. I can do simple projects. But that's... If it's what I think it is, which I think it is what I think it is, right? That's awesome. Alright, where are we at 2 more triangles to add, but then I think that I'm going to have to kind of extend this top a little bit. It's not quite laying the way I want it to. Since you're in a DM, appreciate you. On what platform? So it's on. You found it and it looks amazing. Let's see if I can pull this up. Okay. Yeah, okay, so this is what I thought it is. And that is awesome. Now I want to make one of those. And no, I have not seen it before. Okay, for anyone following along, let me show you what we're talking. I'm going to show you my screen. Okay. Flip camera. Okay, so there's like the little kid's toy, right? And it's got a bunch of cubes that flip around in different manners. And you can make a cube with it, right? Or it folds out, becomes a giant rectangle, and flips around itself and everything. That's what we're talking about. Did you write a tutorial for that? Because I'm going to need to know how to make that. That one's neat, keeping your purse to play with. 18 gauge, 1/8. Nice. That's what I'm going to be ordering soon. Yeah. So, of the chainmail fidget toys that exist, that's pretty cool. Probably the coolest one, I would say. I don't have any chainmail fidget toys that are cooler than that. You know how to connect them all? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you didn't write a tutorial or a place for people to create it themselves, you should do that. Unless you want to keep that secret to yourself. If you're taking that secret to the grave, don't let me tell you what to do. To connect them, you remove the rings from the adjacent sides and replace them with a single ring. I bet, did you have like the original kid's toy, the thing that we played with as children that did the same thing but wasn't made of chainmail? And then just figure out how to connect which sides to get it together. You give away all your tricks. Me too. Because I want people to enjoy chainmail as much as the next person. Yeah, you have an Infinicube that you use as a focus fidget for years? Okay. That's cool. You are already familiar with how each side connects. Okay. I'll have to find one and see if I can't emulate it. That'll be a fun project. See, that's what I love about the chainmail community, is every time I turn around, there's someone coming up with some new and crazy thing to do with chainmail. And it's, you know, it's never ending. You can never do all the same things that other people are doing. One human is just not capable of that much work. But everyone does so many unique things in the chainmail community that I just think it's neat. There's a video that you included in your TikTok DM. Okay, I'll look at it. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Dad. Where are we at here? 9:26. That's not the one I had. I will have to go find that. And that's the crazy thing too. You take two people who know all the same basic weaves, right? And they're gonna have ordered different ring sizes to make the same weave, right? Two different sizes of rings to make two different strands of half Persian 4-in-1. And it's gonna look totally different. And it's gonna be something like, oh, I never would have thought of using that ring size for that weave. That looks amazing, right? It's so neat just to see how varied everything becomes. And I've talked about this before. Like, you rewrite a lot of tutorials to reduce ring count or make them more standard ring sizes. Nice. That's a nice thing to do. We're at the point in history where we have more chainmail weaves, more chainmail ring sizes, and more chainmail ring suppliers, and more chainmail ring materials than ever before in history. And it's been going on for about 30 plus years now. And just the amount of artwork that's coming out of this community over the last 30 years it's just mind-blowing. And it's a small niche community. The largest chainmail group on Facebook, there's only 15,000 members, 17,000 members, something like that. Whereas the largest crochet community has millions, you know? You typically stock 18 SWG in increments of 30 seconds from 4 to 7 AR, but the number of weaves that want 1/64th increments when it doesn't need it. The number of weaves that... Okay. Is that a pain in your backside? Is that what you're telling me? Most weaves on male artisans are too specific with their ideal aspect ratio. I have never gotten down to the nitty-gritty of most things where I needed to focus on the aspect ratio of a weave too much. Just, I don't know. I know several weaves, don't get me wrong. But there's plenty that I don't know, you know. It's like I learned a lot, and then I was like, okay, well let me do what I can with what I have. The last time I tried to learn a weave was on stream, and this was a couple years ago, and it was an epic failure. Dragon Scale is the first one that comes to mind. There's so many weaves that as long as the rings fit in each other, they work. Really? Dragon Scale, as listed on Male Artisans, is too specific in their aspect ratio. Is that what you're saying? I would believe it. That site. Zachary, thank you for the follow. I was never a part of that site. I've used it as a reference for, a long time, but it was it had already ground to a halt by the time I even thought about joining up. Yeah, 18 gauge, 13/64 plus 18 gauge quarter inch. Quarter inch is easy to find, but most don't stock 13/64. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And there's the whole issue of the way rings were measured, which is, why people, so people use aspect ratio because it's a better measurement than 18 gauge quarter inch, right? So it's a better indicator of whether or not it'll work for a weave, for anyone not following along when we say aspect ratio. But you can give someone the ring measurements that you're using for something, but because there are so many different ring manufacturers, and because manufacturers have changed how they make their rings, I think that it's fair to say that using aspect ratio is a better way to give someone measurements for a weave, right? And Razmataz is just saying that it's not as strictly adherent to that in some of the resources that we use. Kai, thank you for the follow. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. For this. This is my one extra ring here. And if I just weave up to there, yeah. Just add one more row on this one. It'll be fine. Oh wait, no. Hang on. That is not an extra ring. What am I doing? Something has happened. I don't know what happened. I thought that was my extra ring, but it is not. Okay. I'm not going to question it. Maybe I counted wrong. Got to know how to count first in order to be able to do it right. So, let's see if I have some leather thong. I think that would look good on this. All right. Do I have a small piece already cut? Yes. What is this? Give me that. Oh crap, that's not small. What in the world is that on? Hang on. I'm right here. Okay. I have a roll. Oh, okay. Huh. There. One of those will work. But that applies well to Dragon Scale, Callisto Chain, Vertebrae, Garter Belt, etc. to make sure your rings sit easily inside the other. This is like old and frayed. And this piece is fresh and new. We're just going to go... There's only 5 of these. And that kind of folds in on itself. How should I do this? Should I add... What if we just cut this straight in half? How much length would that give us? That'd give us too much. Because there's only 5 segments, there's no way to make even. Opposing laces. Right? Which is really how I'd prefer them to be, but I made the decision not to do it that way. So if this is all we... Oh, wait. We need at least 5. Alright. Well, that's something. Voila, it is done. Let's see, actually... Hang on. Let me grab some 550 cord. You know, I got this dice bag, and I haven't put any dice in it. I need to go to the dice shop and buy dice. I'm not a person who routinely owns large amounts of dice, so I don't know why these are like this. Nice dice bag. Thank you. It's just, you know, used up the rings and... Alright. Give me this 550 cord. This one's titanium and is going to get anodized. So, a lot more work went into this one. There. Once it's filled with dice, it'll look great, right? I think I'm being overly concerned about expanding the top of this. Yeah, it's something. Alright, let's... Miranda, thank you for the follow. Let's cut this down to size. And that's one done. I need a Sharpie. Do I have one? It looks good, thank you. Alright, whenever you use leather lacing or leather cord to do whatever, right, and you gotta cut it, it's always going to be the raw material color, right? For anyone at home. Okay. Just color that in with a Sharpie. Makes it look better. All right. 1 dice bag. Ah, ah, ah. 2 dice bags. Ah, ah, ah. I really should finish some of these projects. But no, there we go. That's, it's a dice bag. It's nothing special. It'll hold my friend's dice. I hope. I went back through the other way. Am I overthinking this? Probably. I don't know. For my next trick is another dice bag. I'm wondering, we should just do this more straightforward. 941. Can knock some of this out. I've got 5.5 segments here. We just got to hook them all together. So the first question is, do I have enough rings to seam these up the side for all of them? I think so. I don't think it's going to do... We're not going to do anything special with this dice bag. We're just going to weave it together. It'll be a standard... I made a video about dice bags recently, and I called it, I don't know, your standard issue, like standard issue child prevention for your average chainmail artist. Making a joke because whenever you start out making a dice bag, you will get people asking you if that is a chainmail condom that you're making. And people who make chainmail usually understand exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, and I was going to say, if this doesn't work, if I don't have enough rings, we will do something else then. But I think I can make it work. Just make a regular dice bag, and then the rings for the coif. So this was originally a coif. I made a purchase of more rings, and they came in and they were too different of a size because the ring manufacturer had changed how they made their rings and wanted their measurements to be like as exact as possible. And so I started to make a second coif out of the new rings, and so I have that going. And then now that I'm going to be done with this here pretty soon, I will order more rings for the coif project and finally have my second coif finished. It's an interesting project. Everyone should make one. I need 3. I've got 3 shirts. I'll need three coifs to match them on the shirt stands that I have, right? I got 3 shirts and 3 shirt stands. I should have 3 coifs. That makes sense, right? I'm actually kind of excited to get to the shirt project of tearing apart all my shirts and lining them and making them, updating them, making them more modern, more wearable, more comfortable, and adding pockets. I think that's probably... It's going to be an expensive, very long project. But if I can emulate the way I did my motorcycle vest in any way, because my motorcycle vest is the most comfortable piece of chainmail that I wear. It's chainmail over the top of a leather vest. And so the shirt project is putting, lining the shirts that I have with leather, doing the reverse of the leather of the motorcycle project. Tailoring is a term you believe to seek with them shirts? Yeah, we're going to be tailoring them. And making them cool. So, I'd like to do that project over the summer. We'll see. We'll see how far along we get. There are many large projects that I would like to do. So we'll see how many I can get to and how many I can afford. Art of male tailoring is almost lost in many cases. The actual skill set it takes to input expansions and contractions into a suit of chainmail made for someone in a medieval battlefield setting. That is not what I'm doing. I'm going to make mine more comfortable to wear and cooler than they are now. But I don't think that there's any way I could tailor a suit to someone's physical person. I mean, maybe, given enough time and having the person there to measure all the time. One you hope many more people will take up in the future. I mean, I think a lot of people will. It's coming back. You've seen a couple tailored chainmail suits on Facebook. Did you see the Superman suit? That's completely tailored to a mannequin. Doesn't come off the mannequin, but it's a Superman suit. That thing's fucking sick. Are they tailored for more than combat fashion? Was another one late period. Nope. Lol. Why? Yeah. No. It's a Superman chainmail suit. And why did they make it? I don't know. Because they could. I don't. Why do I mindlessly connect thousands of rings together over and over and over again in a never-changing pattern? I don't know. This is a cool project for them to do. You have that one saved and tried to join in helping with the cape? Nice. I mean, I have a lot of static art pieces that I just made for fun, you know? It's like if there was a wax museum for chainmail, you know? That would be the first entry. It looks like skin tight, perfect fit Superman suit. It does. It is skin tight. It fits that mannequin really well. Better than a movie poster or a wall poster, if you ask you. For a cool conversation piece, some folks have bus seats in their homes. Yeah. Yup. I don't know. I don't remember who did it or who has it or where it's at. But yeah, it's a Superman suit on a mannequin. It doesn't come off the mannequin, but it's cool as hell. Just one of those things that some quirky chainmail artist made, and I myself have put more effort into stuff with far worse outcomes, so. Like my college career. Like that's, once I get done using up all this crap in my basement, you know, that's all I'm gonna do is make weird art stuff. Hurrah to that statement, yeah. Come on, let go. There you go. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh. That one snuck up on me. All right. It's like I have, personally, I sell a few things here and there. Sure. And I'm pretty good at chainmail. I've been doing it for a long time. But I have no interest in being like someone who makes a bunch of earrings and bracelets and necklaces and goes to events every weekend or every other weekend or whatever. And I'm not sure what's going on in Facebook land, but the quality seems to have taken a turn for the worse. I don't know what's going on either. I'm not receiving any notification that anything's going on here. That's why we stream to multiple platforms. One goes down, perhaps another will work. And also because, like, people like the platform that they like, and I want to be available to them on that platform. What was I saying? I watch the people who do these craft fairs and vendor shows, and they're hustling their butts off to make a ton of stuff, and you know, they're earning that money, right? And I have no desire to be that way, right? So the bulk of stuff that I sell is like prints on fabric of chainmail themed stuff. Just your end, reset your browser, and choppy visuals cleared. Okay, good. It's like, I want to sell chainmail print stuff. I don't, I'll sell some chainmail pieces here and there. No doubt about that. But I want to make cool art stuff. You know? There is plenty of things to do with chainmail. And plenty of people who make chainmail, who do the hustle and go to the shows, and it's like I don't want to compete with them. I'm proud of them for their work ethic. Because that's, oh man, I can't imagine just making the same bunch of stuff over and over. So props to them. Not your hustle. It's a motivation killer. Yeah, I would think so. I couldn't do it. I mean, I think that making, knowing how to make a perfect ring, right? One that closes flush without any burrs. That's a, it's a good skill to have. And on multiple levels, right? Like you've got riveted rings and butted rings, and it's like I want to learn how to do that because that's part of making chainmail. And then I want to take all of that, which I opposed for a long time, right? Because I was like, the people who make chainmail rings, they're good enough at it for any of my purposes, so let them make the rings and I'll order from them. And I will weave the rings together into cool stuff. Right? That was my thought process. Oh, missed a ring there. But I'm getting to the, I don't know, advanced stage where I need to be making them myself in small amounts. I will probably still order most of what I need, but couldn't find time to make something in 30 gauge one week, 12 gauge the next, if you had to worry about sales of them as well as the reason to make them for a customer that you would need to find and start. And the unknowns is a wall to making things. If you just wait or for things that will make money, you'd like to enjoy the craft of making things from wire to ring weaves. Yeah. No, I hear you. I want to weave stuff into existence, and that's 99% of what I want to do. So I want to have the skill to make something from, start to finish and have it come out exactly as I intended. That's my only goal in all of this. Alright, I got 3 sides done. What time is it? Ooh, it's 9:58. You wish to summon the creation of someone else. You wish to summon the creations, someone else I need to find to sell it and let me have more time to craft, more such stuff to repeat. Yeah. Yep, I get you. Alright, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, angels and demons, pigs and piglets. So we got 3 sides of this. We got to add 2 more sides. I'll probably do that tomorrow, and then this will be done as well. Just a plain old dice bag. Nothing fancy about this one. For anyone interested in learning more about chainmail, in the link tree in my bio is the Mailworks app, and it has a ton of resources that I wish I would have had when I first got started 27 years ago. From where to purchase chainmail rings from a bunch of different people, suppliers, tool recommendations, where to find tutorials, where to find groups of people that hang out and make chainmail. So it's, shameless plug, my store is the first link on there. But there is a place to go and ask questions as well. And if you like what you see, please go check out my website, mailworks.com, where I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories similar to this hoodie I'm wearing. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it, but it is 10 o'clock and school starts back up tomorrow, so I got to get upstairs and make sure that everything's put away, ready to go for tomorrow. All right, I will be back on. Thanks for hanging out for our first stream of the year. Right? We got one thing done already this year, and I'm happy about it. So, you all have a wonderful evening. Have a happy new year. Enjoy the rest of your time before you got to go back to work or go back to school, and I will talk to you all later. All right? You all have a wonderful evening. Bye. All right. For anyone watching on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, please go to mailworks.com. There is a link for the Mailworks app there. And you can check that out if you are interested in learning more about chainmail. I think everybody watching here probably already knows about chainmail. But if there is, by chance, someone who's unfamiliar, wants to learn more about how to make this stuff, go to my website. There's a link to the app for Google and Apple, and you can check that out. Please check out the mailworks.com. All right.